It's me, Lyric. Oh, I just kicked my desk. And this is Stardew Valley. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Music's pretty loud. Yeah. Turn that down a little. It's better. All right. So, Boris is on a phone call, so he'll be in here later. So for now, it's just me. And I played a little bit yesterday. So unfortunately, a few things happened that I didn't get to see on stream. So the Egg Festival happened. I don't know if there's a plant behind there. What else happened? Oh, the mayor showed me the community center. So I can start doing that kind of thing now. No water. And I've done a lot of chopping, a lot of just stuff on my farm. But I have not built a chicken coop yet. Let's have a look at the journal. All right, something odd going on in the community center. Gotta go investigate it. So we'll do that today. Also got to kill slime. Get deeper in the mines. 40 is a bit far. And I gotta build a coop. So I've got all of the things that I need to build the coop, except for maybe the money. I can't remember how much it cost. So I guess I'll figure that out. Parsnips in there. I've got things to plant. We will just potter around on the farm for a bit, I guess. Made fertilizer, so now I get better plants. So, I've got to say hello to my cat at some point. So what am I doing first? Should I investigate the community center? Little coop. I'm gonna get the... Sorry if this comes up. It didn't. Oops. Put the ground. Oh yeah. Bone. Oh, I can't wait to have farm animals. Hi, Bernie. He's subscribed again. 7 months. That's so long. And he says he should be asleep. Everyone should be asleep. How long he's been awake already? What time of day is it for you, Bernie?
It'll be just past midday.
Oh no!
Also, hi Bernie, but I'm not really here yet. I've got a tiny
Boris
bit
has
of
got to
work.
concentrate.
Yeah, I'll fill you in on my work because it's actually half interesting for once.
Yeah, we've got lots of stuff to talk about today. Okay. Construct farm buildings. Coop. 4,000. Okay, gotta do stuff. I should talk to all of them while I'm here, actually. I'm trying to be really good and talk to all the people. I'm not listening to them though. Because of who I am. Ooh. You had something to actually say to me. Okay. So, I guess we go to Gunther. Oh, I didn't bring my shards. Oh, that can wait till another day then. I'll go to the mines. Like to do some more foraging. Oh, it's so sad. Throwing rocks at his tent. Apple! Hello! Yeah, I'm playing Stardew. Whoa. Ah,
He says boo.
boo! Because he's a ghost.
Yeah. Also, I'm not here.
Forrest, go
Don't-
away.
Don't talk to me, Bernie.
Oh no,
Not
I'm
yet.
gonna. I haven't been paying attention. I'm gonna get killed by a slime. Ah. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Apple. For once, you've said the right thing there.
Okay, Bernie's said something.
I can come back to that one.
I'll read it out anyway. It occurred to him earlier there was a song made about that cannibal of Rotenburg. Is that how you say it? Rotenburg.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. That we talked about on this week in... Oh, right, he's just saying there's a song written about it, and he's going to look it up.
The should have just said the cannibal, because we don't talk about cannibals every week.
Yeah.
There was a song about him.
Yes.
He wants to see if it's if it was released in 2001.
Oh, right. Is boo a bird noise? I think boo is a ghost noise. Was that the dog? Apples just asked whose dog I sent him a picture of. Was that the Labrador that was asleep on its back? 'Cause if so, that was a client's dog. So cute. Ooh. Things up. Earth crystal. Ow. Oh, and Apple's office is done. That's so exciting. I saw his keyboard. That looked cool. Looks clackety. Spent all Saturday doing cable management. That is like it's so good getting a new space and like all of that kind of thing. But then the job of having to organize it all and make it all neat and look nice. What a hassle. That slime just died and created stairs. That's how stairs work. Yeah. Oh, the song about the cannibal was in 2004. Thanks anyway, Bernie. Every time I see a movie that might have been in 2001, I ask Boris, oh, was that 2001? And then I look it up.
Yeah, as if I'm some sort of encyclopedia.
Yeah. things. Oh, okay. As an Australian, I can't say that word.
What?
Okay, so Bernie asked about the bird noises before, and I said boo was a ghost noise, not a bird noise.
Yeah.
And he's just corrected me on what he was talking about, but as an Australian, I can't say that word.
What?
Yeah,
Why not?
because it doesn't come out properly.
You don't say it like an American, do you?
Well, that's the thing. My brain won't let me. But my mouth won't.
It's such a good word.
I know, but it's too awkward. I can't do it. It's like you with dude.
No, I'm working. Stop.
Oh,
I've got
you're so bad at this.
just a little bit to write, and I've just written 2 sentences so far.
Okay, well, just
gotta get through
you should
this.
put headphones on or something so you can't hear me as much. Ooh, got cave music. Can't chop slimes through rocks. Ow. Ow! Shouldn't have sold all those parsnips. Oh, yeah. Need algae.
I'm back again. I've written 1 more sentence, so it's all right.
Great.
Bernie said that, and there's the people that pronounce roof as rough. I don't do that, but I do say rum.
Rum and
yeah.
tissue.
I don't say that.
Yeah, you do.
Now I can't say it.
You can't say it at all.
Yeah, now I don't know how I say it. And I don't say it all the time. It varies depending on
like who you're talking to. And
yeah. Sometimes I can say like room and rum differently in the same sentence.
Yeah. Oh, isn't any more stuff in here? Break random rocks. Oh, cool. What's this? Oh, I killed enough slimes. Cool. To go to the Adventurers Guild. I may as well get to level 10 while I'm here. Oops. Amethyst. That's cool. A geode. Okay, I don't know whether you're supposed to chop these open or... Ah! Ow. Ow. And I'm waiting until Boris can talk properly. To tell you all about the big weekend. Oh,
the Boris. Is the room? Obviously, ignore that. There's still some stuff in
you're meant to
boxes.
be looking at it,
but yeah,
Boris.
there's the start. There needs to go another shelf here. Here's the office.
It looks
that is
great.
a mess still as well, but this corner of the office is done. So you'll see everything that powers this office is just here and hold on, and hidden all the way under there. Everything's controlled by Alexa. There, like my lights, everything.
I'm gonna
Got a
die.
nice vinyl player.
This is great, isn't it? You can't see what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's basically done now. We just got to decorate it and put in some more furniture.
Got to level 10.
I thought,
And yeah, I'm sure that made for a great bit of streaming.
Well,
I got boots.
what happened there, Apple, is I was assuming you were sending something stupid to distract me. So I thought, well, I better put this on the stream. And then I realized, oh no, this is actually a tour of your room. But I didn't know at what point to awkwardly walk away from the stream. So I just committed. But I really like it.
Yeah, it looks really good.
How are you going to decorate it?
Okay. I gotta get out of this. Oh my god, it's 11 p.m. I've gotta get home. I didn't realize how late it was. I'm kind of... Yeah, no, it's getting late. I'm gonna pass out. Ooh. I'm used to, what's it called? Harvest Moon, where when you're inside, time doesn't move. Got carried away. Quick. My cat. Hello. Let's go to sleep. I didn't get to sell any of my things. Okay. So we will go and sell the stuff in person today. So that we can get the money straight away. Ooh. Hello. It's my grandma. I know you're just getting started as a gardener, so I wanted to give you a little tip. Most crops only grow in one season. When summer arrives, your spring crops will all die out, so plan ahead. I'm hoping there's enough... Like, I don't... Oh, Monday the 15th. Okay, cool. Heaps of time. Alright. Oh, I should put some copper on. And put this away. Bug meat. I need bug meat for anything. Do I sell it to the monster guy? So, rocks, wood, fertilizer. Take the geode. And my glass shards. Oh, right. Let's go to the town. Oh. And a bush. Berry. I remember the berries not being worth much because they're kind of everywhere. Right, Bounty Forest still isn't here, so we will come back to your comment. Fish. Right. Oh. Oh, it stopped. We got the treasure! single seed. Yeah, we can talk about Boris while he's not here. What do you wanna know? I'll tell you all his secrets. Got a new reward. Wounds. Does he take big poops? I think so. Collect rewards. Melon seeds. When do I plant them? Summer. Okay. Smells. Does Boris smell? Don't. Just smells like a person. Regular people smell. Limestone. Copper. And green. Okay. Okay. Need to donate them. What else do we sell? Oh, fish to that man. Fisherman man. Oh, and I've got to talk to the Adventurers Guild. Oops. Just discovered a button. Book! Nice. So many things. Oh, and I've got to chop down more trees. Is Boris a bed hog? No. Both of us are pretty good at sharing a bed. This is an absolute tip for any people in relationships. Use separate blankets. Because Boris and I both have very different, ways we like the bed to be made. So, yeah.
As in, I actually like having the bed be made.
So, Boris likes all his, sheet and doonas and... Doona? Well, not even
duvet.
a doona.
Duvet
Yeah.
is, yeah. Australian word for duvet is
Oh,
doona.
sorry. He likes it all, really tucked in. But I like to be all snuggled and
She
cocooned
sleeps,
up.
on a pile of...
No, I don't. I don't sleep on a pile.
of dirty
That's
clothes.
the opposite. No,
and-
Boris, you're lying. It's silly. I just...
It could be a fridge
No.
underneath all of it, and she would never know.
I don't sleep on top of anything.
We can't have the ceiling fan on because
Yes, we can.
otherwise it'll bump her head. That's how much stuff she sleeps on.
Oh no! Oh, I cooked it. No, I just have a duvet, and I like to be all cocooned up in it. I don't sleep on top of anything. You always say that, and it's not true. But yeah, so we just have separate, sheets. Sheets and blankets.
And she sleeps with the doona, even in the summer.
Oh, yeah. I can't go to sleep without a doona on, unless
Could
I'm,
be
really drunk or something.
35 degrees,
Because generally,
and you've got
if
a
it's
doona on.
if it's really hot, then I'm not under the doona, really. I just, hold it. It's like a comfort blanket. But I have a bamboo doona cover, so it's moisture wicking and it stays cool. These fish. Ah, mouse. Doesn't want a starfish? The old bamboo? What? It was like bamboo sheet. Or Duna cover. UV cover. I didn't know that so many people are confused about what a set of bed sheets is. Like a full set. A bed should have a fitted sheet. Oh, sorry, there's a cutscene. Of course it's stinky, it's a sewer. Scared. Is it locked? It's to explore the sewers. Gross. Gunther has the key. Does Gunther have the key? Just asked the same thing. Rusty old key fall out of his pocket one time. Maybe sewer door like this. It's just gotta be a match for the rusty key. Okay. Gotta make friends with Gunther. Oh, yuck sound. Spooky. Oh, something in there. Why am I standing in the sewerage? That's so gross. Okay. Bernie says that he sleeps indecently by Mia standards. And in summer sleeps indecently by normal standards. Okay. I can't sleep with pants on anymore. I did it once, and then now I can't wear pajama pants to bed. So that's some information about me. Oh, what I was saying before was that a bed should have a fitted sheet, a flat sheet, a doona with a doona cover on it, and pillows with pillowcases on them. That seems super simple to me and like straightforward, obvious, but a lot of people don't know that and they get confused by it. I bought a client with my own money. I didn't charge the company for it. I bought a client a new bed sheet, a fitted sheet, because his was too stinky. I didn't want to put it back on his bed. Gross. I started clearing all this stuff because the game told me to. Why did that make like a wet sound when I picked it up? Well, I didn't want to tell my mum I was doing it. My mum boss. Because she'd probably think that it's not a good idea and to just wash his sheet, but we've had to do washing every time we've gone there. And I don't want to wash his stinky sheet with his clothes. And there's not enough time to do like 2 loads of washing and hang them all out. So we just never got around to it. And it doesn't fit his bed properly anyway. Oh, I forgot to go to the Adventurers Guild. Damn it. Also got to clear enough space to put my coop down. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. Well, yes, Apple, I am a coffee drinker. I'm not a fancy coffee drinker. I enjoy coffee, but don't know anything about it. And Bernie, we do a lot of jobs for the, I guess the government, through the disability sector. So this man needs a cleaner. If it wasn't for us, his house would be overtaken by maggots. Yeah, this man's house is a big yikes. Yeah, I'll just put it all in here. You still need to go to the Adventurers Guild. But wood and stone pockets. I should do cleaning streams. Yeah, I could do. I do actually, I need to make videos for work. I need to make training videos because I'm really bad at doing it in person. I need to, I have all the things you need to make a YouTube video, so to just write a script and do it. Okay, where am I gonna put my chicken coop? Up here? Yeah, Bernie, I think that about a lot of jobs. Whenever I think, why can't we just live in a, like, everything's free society? But you gotta pay people to do things that no one wants to do. Okay, I think I'm gonna put the chicken coop in here. Let's start stopping. Also need a silo. Why did you want to know if I was a coffee drinker, Apple? Boris is not. Boris thinks that coffee is poison. Oh no. I assume anything that starts with a long well, it's gonna be not good. Oh, okay. What am I trying to say? I'm just trying to read a comment and it's not working. So, Apple is trying to get into coffee, but he doesn't like it, but it keeps him up. This is a tip that I already did before I heard the tip. Just drink it black. Don't have creamer or milk or... I mean, I have sugar because I like the sweet bean water, but it just makes things easier. Like, if the only way you like coffee is like with a whole bunch of stuff in it, then if you like need it, then it'll be harder to get. But I guess that's getting less and less true. Because I've got to go to bed. It's like there's rarely any time where you can't get milk in your coffee. My cat just teleported. What a good cat. Oh. Yes. Okay. And like I don't know much about coffee at all, but basically you just have to keep trying coffee until you find one that you like. Because even just with instant coffee, like there's all different blends and like the origin of the beans and the kind of bean and all of that kind of stuff. Like they all taste slightly different, and even within the same brand, like some of their flavors will be different than others. And I finally found one that I really like. I can drink it with milk, without milk, like any kind, and it's really good. I'm sticking to that one. Okay. Dear neighbor, I hope you are feeling settled in your new home. I am writing to let you know that Pierre's store is now selling fertilizers. I can make my own fertilizer. Why don't you swing by and see if you can afford a few dozen boxes or so? No. Yeah? Or a potato. Look at this pretty spring petals. Oops. Oh. Okay, so do I want to side with Pierre's store or with the Joja Mart? Because Mia seemed I don't know the right emotion. He seemed like my choice with siding with Pierre was the wrong decision. But I thought you want to go with the small local business. That's what people do, right? Okay. So this is where I'm gonna put the chicken coop. Maybe I'll put the silo here. I don't know how big silos are. That should be enough space, I think. It's down. Because I don't ever need to get in the silo, right? I do need to make those things. 2 copper bar, okay. So what am I doing? Seeds away. Got wood, stone. These veggies in the bin. And then Got to go to the Adventurers Guild, and I've got to get my coop built. Okay. Okay, so Apple's saying that Joja is bad news. And I guess the townspeople won't be helpful because some would be for Joja and some wouldn't. Oh, I've also got to look in that place, the community center. I think I found out that these berries are not worth collecting. Hey, miss, aren't you working? Oh no. Oh, no. Cool. Okay. $10 clay and 5 copper. Ah, damn it. Okay. Okay, Bernie's got a terrible joke for us. Why does a chicken coop... Oh, it's so small. Hold on, I've got to think again. Why does a chicken coop always have 2 doors? Because if it had 4, it'd be a chicken sedan. A good joke. Okay. Chicken. Apple is in need of lunch help. Okay. Well, we had hot dogs for dinner. Dogs are good. I didn't come to ridicule you. Oh, I'm trying to be a friend. Hot dogs are so filling. I always forget. I look at them and think it's so little. But then I eat like 1.5 and are too full to do anything. A fresh ham sandwich. Or is that okay? This is another word that my brain sort of breaks a little bit. Pasties? Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it here, but pasties everywhere else.
Okay. Okay.
Like pasta.
Yeah. I didn't read this. When does it open? 2 p.m. Okay. Just do fishing until then. No, Bernie. No, not pasties. Hot dogs. They're sausagey kind. I'm not eating actual dogs. That's not okay. Well, I had a fresh ham sandwich for lunch. My lunch was at like 4:30 because that's when I finished work. That's probably why I couldn't eat my dinner. But then, I talked to my cat. Now I can't say it again. Pasty. Okay. Cornish pasty sounds good. Sounds like something I'd like. Yeah.
I don't know if you asked an American, Bernie, they probably wouldn't know what it was, but if they had to say it, it would depend on their, like, obviously
On where
there's a
they're
lot.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think most of them, I can't do an American accent, so I can't. But it's more like a pasty, like
Yeah, yeah.
that longer A.
I could make wild seeds.
It's the same way that they would say pasta, we say pasta.
Yeah. Should I make wild seeds? Do they grow? No. Is that enough days? No, Boris is still working.
I'm almost there. This is a bigger project than I realized. I'm telling a cafe how to deal with COVID.
Right. Oh yeah, our big news. COVID's back. And we are currently in a 3-day lockdown. What fun.
Well, not Brisbane is, not us.
Well, we went
But-
to Brisbane, so
Yeah.
we...
We could be in a longer lockdown.
Oh no. Oh, what's my cat doing? Yeah. Depends on how contact tracing goes.
They haven't specified. They haven't said anything about
The
us.
areas that we were in yet. Yeah.
Us, as in people who were in Brisbane.
Right.
After the 20th of March, but have since left Brisbane, like us. We just don't have. We don't have instructions yet.
Yeah. Well, I get it. Like 3 days is nothing. But when you weren't expecting it, it sucks a little bit. Especially when if you don't work, you don't get paid. But it's not that bad. It's only
And
3 days.
Funnily enough, today is also the day that JobKeeper payments stopped.
Stopped. Oh god.
So that was like kind of our furlough program, kinda similar
Yeah.
program, because it's not really
Oh, I've got to go back to the adventurers.
like it's not as bad as it is over there. It just happened to stop today, and it was the same day that
That
yeah.
we've got this lockdown. Yeah,
And,
I know. Like it,
Oh.
boo-hoo 3 days.
So basically, like right now, I'm in, and it's almost certainly going to go away in a few
Yeah.
days.
Oh,
They'll,
yeah.
they'll like they lock down.
They'll
They'll
contain
do the
it.
contact tracing,
Yeah,
and they'll open again maybe next week. Like
yeah.
it happened
Because
a
that's
few months ago. That's how
Yeah.
we've dealt with it so far.
because that's how you should deal with it. You get one case and lock everything down.
Yeah.
That's how you get no cases.
But this one is a little bit worse for reasons that I should be telling you in a few minutes because I've got to finish this.
Yeah, well, you finish
But
that. You
it
hold
means
on.
it means that for the first time, all of Queensland are going to have to wear masks.
Yeah.
So picture like you last March.
Yeah, so Australia is always late to the game for everything. Especially Queensland. We're even slower. Like the rest of Australia jokes that
Yeah.
we're just the slowest state and people and
So I'm having to go through all of the rules and like everyone's got a. But what if this happens? And so that's what I'm doing.
yeah. So yeah, as of today, everyone in the state has to wear a mask. Just your regular old mask mandate. Talk to these guys. Oh, I can't actually talk to him. Yeah, it really helps that, you know, we have
Well, you say that,
Borders.
but like Victoria had an outbreak that was
it was the worst in Australia.
yeah, and it was comparable to a lot of other countries at the time.
Yeah.
But Australia, like unlike say America, where You can't constitutionally close borders.
Yeah.
It was very easy for Australia to just lock down, and they just locked everyone in Victoria and said, right, well, I guess you've got the virus now.
Yeah,
So you deal
that's
with
your
it.
problem.
Yeah, you deal with it, and then we'll let you out.
Yeah.
And that's not really, like, the UK was still letting, like, pretty much had a full-blown outbreak going on, and was still letting all manner of countries fly in at the start of the pandemic. And that's essentially what's led till now,
Yeah.
because you'd never been able to get back in control of it.
No.
You just had to instantly close the border.
Yeah. But I saw how many people in Australia had gotten vaccinated so far, and I'm pretty sure our rollout is quite slow. Because like I've not heard anything about a vaccine rollout.
We've only just started production of our own.
Yeah.
Like, of the AstraZeneca one, I think.
Yeah, and we've got the AstraZeneca one, which a lot of countries have said they're not going to use anymore.
Yeah, I think that was the one with the slight
clotting.
possible side effect for women under 40 or something. I think that was the side effect, but it was very unlikely. We've only just started to be able to produce it here, but like we made a deal with the EU to get vaccines. So we had this. The way that it's perceived here, anyway, is like we had a signed deal for this many vaccines, and then the Europeans went, actually, we could do with them, and then just took them away at the last second.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so there's a lot of people who aren't particularly happy with that being happened. So then we started to produce our own here.
Oh, wow. Apple's saying that 57% of all adults there are vaccinated now.
Yeah,
that's so good.
The UK didn't do well with the actual virus, but it's done exceedingly well with vaccinations.
Yeah. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do with this. Oh, nothing. Okay. Leave. Oh, cutscene. Give him a good scare. Aww. Oh no, it's okay. I'm gonna be nice to him. Yeah. Huh? Oh, sorry. I should read them out. Wait. Oh, he's all scared. He doesn't eat people. Oh. Okay. I know what you're doing, Linus. Yeah, but I read them first. I didn't, I sort of got that I meant to, like, read them out when I stream. If you need food, just ask. I don't want anyone in Pelican Town to go hungry. Oh, he's nice. Yeah, I've got a basket of zucchini fritters for you. Just make sure you dip them in my spicy marinara. Go on, take it. Okay. Now. Oh, I've got to make these things so I can start making syrup. 41 cucumber bar. Easy. Yeah. I am a pretty slow reader, but I already sort of knew how that interaction went, so it's like quick about it. But yes, I will just leave them up longer. Read them out when they're, I don't know, when I feel like it. Okay, so copper, wood. Where should I have my, I guess if it's all in the same area, that would be good. I don't know which trees are maple trees. Or else it's just put us in the dark. I don't know how it works. Okay. So is that everything? I can throw away. How many copper was silo? 5. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, and clay. I don't have any clay really. I've only got 6. Level 2 farming. Okay, what can I make? A mayonnaise machine. Sprinkler. What jobs have I got to do? Deeper in the mines. Build a coop. Okay. I've got mail. Oh, I forgot to check if... Oh! From the wizard. Been forgetting to check if, like, it's people's birthdays and things. I've probably missed some. My sources tell me you've been poking around inside the old community center. Why don't you pay me a visit? My chambers are west of the forest lake and the stone tower. They may have information concerning your rat problem. Nice. Then I can meet this man. A potato. Oh, and Apple's having a Cornish pasty. I hope it's good. Water. Boris is gonna get me water. Oh, nice. I had mud mouth all day. Yucky. Just like a dry mouth.
But mud is wet.
Yeah, but it's like that.
Okay.
What was I do? What was I gonna do today? Gotta go meet the wizard. Okay. And I gotta collect clay, but I don't really know how. Can I just... Will I get clay by doing that? Don't think so. And no, I haven't been eating mud. It's just, it's just a, like a saying, but it's not a, it's one I made up. Well, I didn't make it up, but some people did. But it's not like a common saying, obviously. But I really like it. Hello, sir. Boop, 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 boop. Look at that cauldron. Okay, so Mudmouth is if you've ever had protein powder, like whether it's like a protein bar or a shake, and it's that like chalky, thick, like texture that just makes you thirsty. That's Mudmouth. No, there's not going to be a little Birick. That's a terrible name. It's going to show me something. Behold! Apple says that he thinks Luke is a good name. Apparently, if we have a kid, we've got to call it Luke. Sorry, that's my water bottle.
Never.
Junimos. I don't know. I'm gonna come up with a name for these things, but I don't know what it is yet. Okay, that is a good point, Bernie, that Beric is the couple name, not kid's name. Three square. Interesting. They here? What? What? Who's this man? Loris. Apple has suggested Loris as a couple's name. Okay, he's deciphered the thing that I found. We, the Junimo, are happy to aid you. In return, we ask for gifts of the valley. If you are one with the forest, then you will see the true nature of this scroll. Ooh. Okay. Bernie's suggestions for names are, if it's a boy, Mir. If it's a girl, Mirella. I quite like Mirella, but I wouldn't I wouldn't burden a child with it. Oh, sorry, I took the words away too fast. Distracted with kid names. And Apple thinks that Beric is best. Yuck. Can I smell it? Yucky. Drink! No, don't drink it. Let the essence of the forest permeate your body. Okay, Apple's put some more suggestions up. Bulleric? Lyris? Oh, I can't say the last one. Lyricorus. Oh my goodness. Dripping. These good trees. Oh, I've gained the power of the forest magic. Now I can decipher the true meaning of the Junimo scrolls. Might call them jelly beans. Oral lyric. Or Steve. I don't know about any of these names. Said I'm rude. Okay, so what do I need to do? Guess I've got to go back to the community center. Okay. Oh, I've got to get clay. That's right. Oh. I don't know how to get clay. Gotta dig up wriggly worms. Go to the beach. Oyster. Ah, buckle. This is 300, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe I should do that next. Oh, after the silo. Okay. Benny says I gotta keep it traditional. The Boris or Lyric Jr. Boris's dad's name as the boy's second name, or my mum's name as the girl's second name. Good. Boris is completely naked. What you doing there? This is the room where our clothes are. And I assume he hasn't had a shower. He's stinky. Just being a stinky yuck person. Oh, you left. Oh no, I missed her birthday. She'll never marry me. I'm sorry, Bernie, if you didn't want to know that. All right. Power of the forest. I will read the thing. Ring bundle. One of them. These just take one. Yes. Also need a leek and a dandelion. You can get all those things. Got both of those things. Oh, no. One of those things. Apple, you missed Boris being completely naked. And him being stinky because he just got changed. But he hasn't had a shower. Also don't think he went anywhere or did anything today, so probably doesn't need a shower. That doesn't make him any less stinky. And apparently Apple's seen it all before anyway. Fair enough. Where am I? Is this... Is this place? Oh, I've just... Oh, I need to get back across. No, talk to me.
Well, I'm finally here.
Boris is here.
That took
Yay.
way longer than I thought it would.
Mm.
Plus all the other stuff.
Yeah.
In the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
taking all my clothes off, put them in the hamper thing,
Yeah.
and then realized that my clothes were in here. I had to come in here. Yes, I did read that earlier, Bernie, and I'm one step ahead of you. I will listen to
I've heard Rammstein before.
Yeah.
They're pretty popular.
Yeah. I think, like, I definitely remember from around 2001 time. And they were pretty popular in Australia.
No. Ah! Oh. A cave carrot. I just want clay, Lee. Oh, yeah.
I remember listening to them in class
Ah.
as part of the German class, learning about German culture. That made us assume that all Germans listen to thing. I can only imagine that what we were actually listening to was very inappropriate for the classroom, but
Oh,
so
absolutely.
were most songs.
Yeah.
So did you want to talk about what we did?
Yeah, I think so. Now that you're here. Ooh. A bone.
Other than start COVID part 83 or whatever we're up to now.
I mean, we didn't. We had nothing to do with it. We just happened to be near it, but not near enough to be worried about it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
near enough to not go to work.
one of the people who had... Okay, so I'll explain the COVID situation.
We've not had any COVID. Oh no, I'm gonna die. For ages.
Yeah.
Like so long.
And then there was a little outbreak. Actually, I don't quite know the full picture, so I'll say what I think.
I was meant to
happened.
look it up before we started,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
It's been way too busy
Yeah.
to know things. But someone came in from... Because there are still people coming in from overseas, but they're
but they've
supposed to
gotta
be...
Quarantine, get tested, all of that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, quarantine tested.
Yeah.
All, rigorous process. But one slipped through the cracks is what happens. And then a doctor who treated that person got infected and then infected someone else. But all of that actually got dealt with really quickly because all of those people were within the medical, I don't know, I was going to say industry, but like they were all within the same ecosystem. And so there wasn't, like, nothing happened. There wasn't a lockdown. There wasn't anything like that. It was all
They
just handled quickly. Everything was contact traced, or so we thought, because there was one that didn't get caught that first
One
time.
that got away.
Yeah. And this is where my knowledge, like, I'm not quite sure what happened after that. There's a gap of a couple of weeks. But then,
Well, it's been like
this,
less than a couple of weeks, I think.
yeah. This person spread it to a couple more, who then spread it to a couple more. And now, I think, I'll check the website. I don't think there's been any more confirmed ones, but there's 10 cases currently.
Ah, that's more than I thought.
Yeah. But only a couple of them are new. And the contact tracing for them is pretty good right now. Like they've gone on sort of gone fairly deep, and they've kind of listed everywhere that they were and put those things up on the website. And they're like, in order for us to go into any business pretty much now, you've got to sign in with a QR code.
Yeah.
And then that stuff gets reported back to Queensland Health. And we've also got, that the app thing that, if you're near someone for 15 minutes and so they've got all these multiple ways, plus normal old-fashioned contact tracing. So they've got all these ways, and they have put down where, like, if you were in this place at this time, you've got to contact all that sort of thing. The closest thing that we had, because we were in...
We were in the city.
Yeah, we were in the city, quite close to... So it was happening on the north side of Brisbane mostly, and the north side of Brisbane is where my sister lives, and we live north of Brisbane, so we sort of drive through that, and then we headed back north to go to a cat cafe, which we'll come back to.
Don't know if you need to water these.
So we were sort of not quite where all of it was happening. These massive 10 cases, but like we were sort of one suburb to the west of it all the time. But then my sister, who lives there, she worked it out based on the times that were provided. She worked out the train that one of them was on he would have got off as she got on.
Yeah.
So that's the closest that we've come to it. And then we met her.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's nothing to really worry
it's
about.
extremely unlikely that we would have even come into contact with any COVID.
Yeah. But the fact that we were in Brisbane at all means that now legally
Yeah.
we follow the rules that the people of Brisbane have to follow now
Yeah.
until we're told otherwise, despite the fact that we're no longer in Brisbane. So we are on a lockdown. The other thing that
Don't
happened.
think I need to water these.
So,
Sorry.
so one time in the past, like a few months ago, there was another outbreak like this. Not as big. It was like only one or two. That was like when they had that lockdown. That was the first mask mandate for Brisbane.
And it was just for Brisbane.
Yeah, it was just for Brisbane. But then this time, and it's caused a lot of confusion today for everyone outside of Brisbane.
Yeah.
Because they, like, right now there is a mask mandate for the entirety of Queensland, but
Please
for
what?
3/4 of the day, the actual ruling on it was quite vague, as in it was probably just the way that the person who typed it up, it was just like the grammar in the sentence, and it was just people, like the whole day, every business, like I've been just talking to all sorts of people in all different sorts of businesses going like, we're not actually sure what we've got to do,
Yeah.
whether we've got to get staff and customers ready for masks in a place that has never had to do anything with masks, has barely even seen one. But it was finally sorted out, and we need masks when indoors and outdoors if you can't socially distance.
Yeah.
And although to me, as a like reasonably using my brain, like that
Yeah.
that sounds fine, because one of the people with COVID got on a plane and went to Gladstone, which is a long way. Like Queensland is bigger than Texas. It's a big place.
It's big.
But most people live in the southeast corner. The capital city is way down in the southeast. So when I say most people, actually, it's almost half and half. So half the people in the state live in the city, and then the other half are like smeared up the coast and a little bit.
Smeared?
Yeah, well, like with a smear, you start like big.
Okay.
Like it's
Oh,
harder.
I getcha.
And then it like gets a bit lighter up the coast, with a few like small cities dotted up there, and then that smear goes west as well,
Okay.
so that there's very few people northwest. It's pretty much just some forests, and there's very few people out west. It's just some dirt and dust. But there are people along the coast and everyone down in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
You're not listening. You've got
Well,
that glazed
no,
over look,
what
like-
was the response you wanted from that? Because I guess yeah wasn't it.
It was the way that you were looking. It was like, you're being boring.
Well, yeah, I did think that too. I was just thinking like, I've not fully understood what you've just said, so I don't know. And I know what Queensland looks like.
Okay, the reason that I point that out is that, so, I don't know, imagine you're in Texas, and there's a city on the very far left of Texas.
Yeah.
They have like 5 COVID cases. And there's no COVID cases in the entire rest of Texas. But you live in a city on the far right of Texas, and you have to put a mask on because of those 5 people ages away who might as well be in another country.
Yeah.
So they have 6. 5 isn't enough. It's 6. So that's what's happening kind of in Queensland at the moment. So although I think reasonably
now.
someone got on a plane and went a long way away,
Yeah.
and it could
now-
have spread easily that way. But at the same time, like I saw I saw a lot of Facebook comments today.
Oh God, no.
Because I had to be for like their business and stuff.
Yeah.
And the people like, I'm in Mount Isa, like, and I've got to wear a mask. Like, I don't think I've met anyone from Brisbane ever. Like, that was exaggerating, but like there are people that are just that far away.
Yeah.
That, and again, like reasonably, I think that's fine. Like it's a very
that makes
minor
sense.
inconvenience,
Yeah.
just to make sure that it's not going to go any further. But politically, I think this is how you create anti-maskers.
Yeah. By putting rules into place that
Yeah.
seem
So now you're going to
completely unnecessary.
because you're just going to annoy a whole lot of people.
And they haven't put a time frame on it.
Yeah.
It's just indefinite, which I think a lot of people have a problem with.
And like there is already that problem in, well, there's already a problem in Queensland. It's a classic problem. It's city versus the rest.
Yeah.
Like UK has it with London, and we have it with Brisbane. It's like Brisbane gets everything and
Yeah.
everywhere else doesn't get anything, but we always get the the leftovers and in this case Brisbane messes up and we've got to pay the price for it. All these
Yeah.
things that don't really matter. Just people trying to find a way to. But I think if this actually becomes a problem and does spread out of control like it did in Victoria,
Yeah.
it's going to be a little bit harder now to get people who aren't in Brisbane to comply, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
We live in a pretty conservative and backwards town, and like I've heard things from my sister works for a hospitality place. She doesn't work as a hospitality person; she's in the office, but she's hearing stories already of people getting abused and
Oh,
like
sucks.
yeah. It's like she's in an RSL, which is Earned Services League. So she's got these old, angry, very conservative veterans who are now saying, like, it was hard enough to get them to stop smoking everywhere.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, one of my clients today. Like, I hadn't seen any news, like, because I woke up late and just got ready and went to work. So I didn't really know about the lockdown. And I got to this first job, and he goes, "Oh, bit ridiculous about all this lockdown. Like, he's not locked down. Doesn't affect him at all." But he thinks
In fact,
it's...
you're the one who's locked down. You should be complaining. You should complain to him. It's
Yeah.
like, you're
well,
not locked down. I am, and I'm breaking the law by being here.
No, I'm
Oh,
no.
you weren't yet.
I
Is the
could
time
still
limit.
go to work
Oh, yeah.
because
yeah.
I'm an essential worker. So I could go to work. I don't have to be... I'm not allowed to go anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
I can go to work and that's it.
And it didn't come into force until 5 p.m., which was after you
which
finished.
was after I finished. But yeah, this man, like, he's old. Like, he would absolutely die if he got COVID. And I don't know, I didn't have much of a conversation with him. Oh yeah, I found a leak. But I could just tell that he doesn't believe all the science. Otherwise he's nice enough. I haven't talked to him much.
Sorry for keep cutting you off. I go like, I got a thing to say. Say it, quick.
Yeah.
I'd say that describes most of the town that we live in.
Yeah.
Full of nice people.
Like, really
but then
nice,
if you
but
get into too deep a
just a bit
conversation, it's like, oh,
behind.
no.
Yeah, yeah. And like my instant like response to him saying that, oh, this lockdown is a bit much, was like, oh well, I guess it's better than, you know, getting getting a whole bunch of COVID cases and it getting out of hand. And then he just sort of, oh.
That's not what I wanted. I wanted
Yeah.
you to like be the straight man so that I could keep going with my rant.
Oh no, I've got assortment of spring seeds. Spring's gonna be over. Yeah, I think all of our other clients are into it. Like, believe it and stuff. Which is just a wild thing to have to say. That they believe it.
There is definitely a case, like, it's a hard thing to say because you don't want, you want to make sure that people know that you can change your opinion over time. But, like, at the moment, Apple says you should try to outdo him. You believe in it?
What do you mean? Australia isn't real.
Who are you? Who's talking? So, like, I think at the moment there is also, you definitely see the other side, where, like, there's one person at, like, one of my clients owns a cafe. I do a lot of work for the cafe, and there's one person in that cafe. She was, like, literally standing. Her job is to wash dishes. Like, she's a dishy. Washes dishes.
I do that job.
Oh.
Not at a cafe, just at people's houses.
She goes out and gets the dirty dishes and brings them back, and either hand washes some and puts the rest in the dishwasher. That's her job. But she was not doing any of her job. She was standing at the door. This is before the bosses like got into work, because the cafe opens at 5:30 or 6.
Yeah.
I should probably know that. I was there for it like last week. I can't remember. And so she was like standing there, like hands on hips, interrogating everyone that came in. Like, have you been to Brisbane?
Oh my goodness.
And not a nice thing for like, this is a nice relaxing cafe. And there's been there's a total of 10 cases, all of which are known, and the rest are being traced. And it's not her job to find anyone else.
No. She's not in charge of contact tracing.
Yeah. And if someone had been to Brisbane, they would just say no, so they could get some food. So yeah, there's definitely people who go the other way, and like my mum's that as well. She reckons we all have COVID now. We've all got to go get tested.
Yeah, and that's why I can't go to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because of Boris's sister.
Yeah. So I say sister a lot, but I've got a lot of sisters, and I'm always referring to a different one each time.
The one we live with.
We live with, and she also works with Lyric. My mum like got into her head and was like, you have to ask your boss, which is
my mum.
Yeah. Like, you have to ask her about this and like this and this, and like got to do all this stuff. And like she sent a couple of messages, and then it sort of the ball rolled from there. And
my mum, the boss, also went to Brisbane and is in lockdown. Oh, this is not the same fish.
Can you say the last thing that Apple said? Because
I say it in Australian.
Yeah.
Oi, you what? Oi, you. I smell Brisbane on ya.
Bernie said, we need more of that. One English lady I saw in the news once who was like, lock it all down. Don't do it for me. If I catch it, I'm a goner anyway, but do it for the younger generation.
And like, there was, I don't know if it actually was true, but there was a story going around that one of the people in this teeny tiny cluster, one of the people, after getting his test done, he was supposed to obviously quarantine until he got the results back. And then either you're fine, you're good to go, or stay in quarantine, depending on the results. That's how tests work. But instead, he had a party with like 25 people. Now, I'm not sure if it was true or not.
Oh, okay. So you haven't heard the end of that?
I can't remember where I was going with this.
Okay. I was going to ask you where you were going because I didn't know whether to interrupt or not.
You can interrupt. Was it true or not?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling because I just caught something on the radio.
Because this has turned into a thing.
Made me think that maybe it wasn't real.
Yeah, this has turned into a thing of its own. Because Queensland Health said that one of the people who had COVID and was tested and was supposed to be quarantining had a party with 25 people coming, and then the media just went off.
The media just, as they do.
Yeah, well, like we've got, and everywhere has.
We've got half a story. We'll make up the rest.
Yeah. Everywhere has like media like this, like that tabloidy kind of media, but like we're really good at it.
I don't know if good is the right right descriptor there.
And yeah, they went off and like pretty much destroyed this guy's life.
Yeah.
Over the
and
next...
that's why I'm not going to work, because if like the crazy off chance that we had it, I'm not going to be the one in the newspapers.
And
like
the truth of it is that he lived with 4 other people. He had a few drinks one night, and some music with the 4 people that he already lived with. And there was one other person who was there for a little bit, but not the whole time. And he said that he was like, he like kept his distance and that. So it's not ideal, but nothing happened. Nothing came of it. And all the other people who were there were quarantining as well with him.
Ah, okay.
And then that became like the media was instantly like, well, this wasn't our fault. Because, and like there is some truth in that Queensland Health posted the wrong thing in the first place.
The government shouldn't be posting that.
Yeah. So now like there's an investigation into how they got that wrong in the first place. But there was a very quick turnaround by the media saying, well, absolutely none of that was our fault whatsoever because you gave us the wrong, like...
Yeah. Ridiculous. I remember where I was going with it. It's that, like, especially in the beginning, there was all stories about young people not taking it seriously because it's like, I'm not going to die because I'm young.
Yeah.
I get it. And obviously that's been disproven. But also, it's still a brand new disease that we don't know any long-term effects of because
there are people who already
it's not been long-term yet.
Yeah.
And now that it's been over a year.
Like a year on, and there are still some people with some problems.
Yeah. And yeah, there's been kids that have died of it.
And like, it doesn't. I mean, these are all old arguments that everyone's heard over and over, but like a small percentage applied to a large number is still a very large number of people. And yeah, Australia is not in the running for any sort of major vaccination effort. Like it might be October by the time we get stuff. And
I think we've got. Oh, you've got a number there that says how many vaccinated.
Yeah, 59,000. Well, that's in Queensland. That's not the whole country.
What was I doing? Oh, silo. Oh, I don't have the things for a silo. Going hunting for copper.
It's mostly healthcare professionals that are getting vaccinated with what we have at the moment. But like the UK will be done soon. And even the US should be done by the end of May.
I don't know how well it's going to go in the US. I'm so worried for them.
I think, like, I'm a little bit more optimistic about the vaccination thing. I think they'll be mostly done by May.
Yeah.
Or end of May. The difficulty then will be learning to live with it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be around forever. We're not going to get rid of it. So.
Yeah, it's not like we can eradicate certain diseases. We have done. Well, yeah. But COVID is not a good candidate for that.
Just turn into the flu.
Yeah.
It'll hopefully get less severe. But what I'm hoping is that it'll teach us to deal with things like the flu better, because until now we've just ignored the flu and just gone, oh yeah, the flu. That like so what? Like I got the flu once that I know of, and it wrecked my lungs.
Yeah, I cannot believe you didn't go to a doctor.
Yeah.
Like Boris, I didn't know Boris when this happened, and he was telling me about it, and I would have made him go to the doctor like way earlier.
There's one of the Weapons of Mass Derpiness series that Anubis and I did on YouTube, where you can hear me with what was almost certainly pneumonia. You can hear me attempting to talk, and there are so many cuts in that, and that thing was filmed like over a week because we couldn't get it done because I had to keep stopping because I was coughing too much. Like, and that was just from the flu as a reasonably fit young person. Like, why don't we take that more seriously?
Well, a lot of people do. I mean,
yeah, like, we should be getting. Like,
I don't want to talk about our housemate again, but she goes to the doctor for every single little thing, and I think that's so good. Like,
well,
a lot of people don't.
You don't want to be like taking up too much time, but we do have a partially privatized system.
Yeah.
Like in the UK, they've got the opposite problem. They want to stop everyone going all of the time for nonsense stuff because it just burdens the NHS. But here we've got a public system that's there if you need it, but GPs are privately run and subsidized.
Yeah. So
you get a little card that gets you a certain amount off. And some doctors, the cheap doctors, you get the whole thing off. More expensive doctors, you got to pay some. So that sort of thing isn't as bad because it's like they're making a profit from it.
Yeah.
It's not like in a public system where you've got a limited amount of resources and you've got to work out how to best spend them.
Sorry,
I thought I should
distracted.
clarify that.
Yeah.
So you were saying that she goes in for every sort of problem?
Well, I don't know. That's probably exaggerating.
Yeah.
But just for a lot of things that I would just go, oh, I guess that's just my body now. Like she had a sore shoulder and she went to the doctor and got a fix. I don't know what happened. But like I've got eczema. Eczema, if you're Canadian.
Which I think you should go to.
Yeah, I absolutely should go to the doctor about it. I just haven't. The problem with our system that I have is that you need to have $80 in your account to go to the doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you get a lot of it back. You end up only actually paying like $30-something. Or is it the other way around?
There's
more and get
it's called bulk
back.
So if you go to a doctor that bulk bills, that means that they charge $80 per session.
Yeah.
And $80 roughly, it's not quite, but
Yeah.
$80 is the amount that you would get back with the subsidy. So that means that if you go to a bulk bill doctor, you swipe your card and you get it back in full and it's free. But if you go to something like yours, which isn't, it's slightly better quality doctors, they might charge $100 or $110 and then you pay the gap.
Yeah. So yeah, my problem is that you need that full amount in your card. And then you
need the $80 in your account.
in your account, which
least.
for a long time I didn't have.
Yeah.
Like I had the amount that I would have actually had to pay, but I didn't have the $80. And like I just think that's such a strange
Yeah, it's
way to
just
do it.
a little bit of an oversight in the system.
Yeah.
It's like too poor for the doctor. In our system that's designed to cater for people who are too poor for doctors.
I mean, I could have just gone to a different doctor. Like one that was
you could go
fully
to a
bulk billed.
Yeah,
but
bulk bill doctors, they, like, you still get a doctor, but
and
they're hard to get into because they're far more popular.
yeah, it's like in our town, there's often a 2-week wait to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Like even at like not bulk billed places.
Yeah.
You just have a doctor shortage.
Yeah, in this town, that's something specific to here. But there's almost always a shortage of bulk bill doctors.
Yeah.
And the ones that are in it, like the doctor that, like, no GP wants to work for a bulk bill usually, so they move on quickly. They might be like a junior doctor who's not a junior doctor, isn't a junior doctor. A junior doctor is in a new doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New to doctoring.
Yeah. That's how they get their hours up, and
Yeah.
like they often have actual things in place where they've got so many at this place, so many at that place, and they keep moving on, which isn't great if you want to have a GP, a family GP or whatever. So
Silly.
the system is kind of good, but also has some of those flaws where like it works a lot better when you've got money.
Yeah.
Because I go to one it's absolutely not expensive, but the appointments are about $140 for a 10-minute session, 10 or 15 minutes, compared to like the 80 for bulk bill, and it's way better. Like I can get an appointment straight away usually, and the doctor's been there for years and has no plans of moving, and he has experience with what I need. So, but like if I lose some work, I can very easily end up having to not use the doctor that I need, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bernie's asking what eczema is.
It's just a skin condition that, like, it can, like, vary between being, really mild and quite severe. And, mine's really mild at the moment, but it can flare up and get, like, almost debilitatingly bad. And sweat can make it worse, which is not good when your job makes you sweat constantly.
And no, they're not.
No.
Your hands aren't rotting away like Mia's.
No.
Mia's got a much worse skin condition. Like I think like eczema's very common.
Yeah, super common.
There's every chance that
Babies
you've
get
had
it a
it.
lot.
Yeah, there's every chance that you've had it, Bernie. I've got a couple of patches that occasionally like show up on fingers.
Yeah.
And they're tiny and they drive me insane. Thankfully I don't have them at the moment.
Yeah.
Like they went away and I'm not sure why, but I'm sure they'll be back. But yours are much worse than what I've got. And
Apple says he used to have really bad eczema.
And Apple said that it can be up to a month to see a GP, and bad. The NHS is
I love.
it's hard. NHS is hard to work on the problems, but because it's like it's really good. I think that everyone, like the UK in particular, they're so proud of the NHS because you invented something that went on to save so many lives for people around the world. But
Potato.
that same love of it is kind of restricting the like things need to change. But anyone who seeks to change it,
It's
everyone
like
just
they're
yeah.
touching the good thing.
yeah,
They want to.
they're gonna wreck it.
Yeah. It's like, no, we want to make it better.
Well, the people who are touching it at
it
the
depends,
moment are trying to make
Oh
it
no.
worse. Well, that's I shouldn't say worse. That's like it's a political thing.
Yeah.
It's depending on bits of it are slowly being privatized. And so everyone's saying they want to make it like America. But then when people say, well, these are some actual reasonable changes that might need to happen, they go, no, don't touch it. We don't want it to be America. It's amazing what some public institutions can do on very little money. Well, the NHS doesn't get very little money, but it gets little compared to what it probably needs.
Yeah.
But it's the problem of basic treatments usually bring about more good than...
Hold on,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Bernie's just said something. The only 3 skin conditions that he knows he has are, number 1, beard. Is that a skin condition?
It is if you don't want it. Maybe I should go into the GP and say, I have this hair on my face.
Okay, and the other 2 are teenage acne and then hives when he eats something that doesn't agree with him.
That might be
Yeah,
an allergy.
yeah. I've got acne that I don't want. I don't know how to get... Oh, it's only 100 gold. It's so good. I don't know how to get rid of it. I have a certificate in this. In skincare. And I
think-
don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix it.
In my period of going through, because I before I found my good doctor, I would just go to lots of bad doctors.
Yeah.
Every time I turned up, the one,
Absolutely do not pop them. I know that much.
well,
Sorry.
that's what I've been doing, and I will continue to do it until they go away and I can prove you wrong.
Okay.
No, I know I'm wrong. Yeah, that's why I didn't go with like my pneumonia problem, is because every time I went to a doctor, there'd just be a new one, and you'd sort of have to start fresh with the new one, and the new one was often quite bad.
Yeah.
Like I got one for my shoulder was
Oh, I had so many of those. Sorry.
I'd had continuously been dislocating my shoulder.
Oh, Boris.
Not intentionally, it just happened a few times.
Actually, no. My shoulder comes out of its socket.
But like I had
Apple wants to know if you've thought about a body transplant.
Yeah, and like they pretty much just said, "Oh yeah, just drink some water and rest." And I was like, "Well, I've just dislocated my shoulder.
Yeah.
I got it back in on my own, but maybe you should, I don't know, like put a stethoscope on it or something. Do a doctor thing."
Like, tell me how to prevent this from happening again.
But
Yeah, I agree, Apple. Boris is 65.
But that wasn't the best example because that might have actually been the best thing to do. It's just to
No,
let it-
you
let
needed
it heal.
to do strengthening exercises in the supporting muscles, which is what eventually you got told to do, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Gunther! I need to write down what I have to do in this game, otherwise I just wander around and get lost.
But often by the time I'd gotten to see a doctor, the problem had kind of gone away. And that had happened with, like, I felt a little bit bad and thought, no, maybe I should go to a doctor. No, it'll probably go away by then.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where I was like, so I was unable to sleep because I was just coughing that much. This was like every night for a week at this point, and my throat was just raw to the point where I couldn't even feel when I was coughing. It just, like, everything was just pain. And I ended up thinking, like, oh, maybe I'll just go outside and get some fresh air, and the fresh air will be good. Not really, like, I was very sleep deprived, not really thinking that this is the middle of winter and the air's going to be very dry. And so I went out the back door because I was trying not to wake the other people that were in the house. And I went and, like, I was on top of the stairs and just coughing and then, like, took a big breath in of this crisp,
Dry air.
and then just
Beautiful.
couldn't breathe. And I don't really remember much about the rest of the night. I remember being at the bottom of the stairs, just struggling to breathe and coughing and trying to breathe again and coughing. And, like, just coughing stuff up too. Like, things were just coming out, and, like, including kind of blood. It was really not nice.
You could have even gone to the hospital at that point.
Yeah, at that point, I probably should have been in a hospital. But I was still like, it'll be gone by the time I get an appointment. I'll just put up with it. And that eventually did work. But it could have easily gone the other way. Well, see, I didn't go to the doctor when I was coughing up blood because I thought I was coughing up blood that was in my throat. Like my throat was... Yeah.
Go to a doctor.
I don't know. I would do it now.
Yeah, I know that.
It was
but
different time in my life. And, like, in between all of this, I was still working heaps, and my mum and dad they were both sick. Like, my mum had just had a stroke, so I was trying to help them as well with their life, like try to keep their life together, and trying to work. The work was going that badly that I was about to run out of money, so I was applying for jobs and stressed out about that too. And then at night, I'd record funny videos, funny videos with everyone with a button that muted my mic so that no one would hear me cough. And that went until I did almost accidentally got a job. And then that's led till now. Because that was the job that I was in for 5 years. Sorry,
No.
this isn't what we were supposed to talk about.
yeah, we haven't even mentioned our fun weekend.
Yeah, I once had pneumonia. That's fun.
We had a really fun weekend.
Okay, just to cap off that.
Yeah.
Take sicknesses more seriously
Yeah.
in general, I think, is what we should learn from this pandemic. And that when COVID isn't as scary as it is now, but it's still around, that you should treat other things like that too.
Yeah.
And not get everyone sick with all of your stuff. Like going to work when you've got...
Yeah. Not going to work when sick is great in theory. But then you've got more work when you get back, and bosses don't like it.
Yeah, well, that's the culture
It's the
shift.
bosses that need to change.
Yeah, the culture
Because
shift.
people don't want to go to
Is-
work when they're sick.
Yeah. Yeah, that culture shift is the hard thing. It's convincing people that stand to lose money from it.
Yeah.
They should know that it's only in the short term.
Yeah.
And that in the long term, you will save money by making sure that one person who's sick stays home, and you lose a week instead of one day there, but you save on all of the weeks of everyone else who gets
being
sick.
sick. Yeah.
And it's not just like within one business. It's like if every business is doing it, then everyone is getting slightly less sick. So it works out even more. Because it might not be like you get exactly that amount back from people within your own organization. It could be another organization who's stopped people coming in sick. That person then doesn't go and get a coffee from the same place as one of your employees gets a coffee and gets sick there. So it's like a whole societal, So that's what I want to take from this. I'm sorry, Bernie. He's begging for fun.
And Apple said, get a doctor to put a finger up your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it.
I probably have. No, I haven't.
I've had a thermometer in my butt when I was really little. I think we talked about that.
A big old tube.
Tube!
Camera tube.
Oh yeah, I got to see pictures of the inside of Boris's butt.
That was one of our first dates.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You watched me have lots of diarrhea all over the place, and then drove me.
No, that's the thing. I didn't get to drive you. My car broke down.
Oh, that's
Your sister drove.
right, and you were just there
And
for
I
support.
just was there for support, and then it turned out I couldn't even come in.
So you were just awkwardly sat in the hospital.
Yeah, I just had to wait around in a hospital.
Yeah.
But it did end up being good that I went because you got out, and we had to wait for.
Yeah.
And you were so loopy.
Oh.
He just
I
said,
don't do well
I
with
want
anesthetics.
something hot.
Oh. Anesthetics always seem to have a weird effect on me. And I don't remember any of this. So I don't know if you're telling the truth or not.
It was so many times. You just wanted something hot.
Did I get something hot?
You did, yeah. But then you still wanted something hot.
Oh. Okay, fun thing.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Do we start with the awful car ride?
Because most of this fun weekend wasn't fun at all. It was. What did you call
It's
it?
stressful.
You
What?
called it something. Starting with C. Cursed. A cursed weekend.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We spent two nights in Brisbane in like a nice hotel. The rooftop pool.
It wasn't a hotel, it was an apartment. It was an
apartment.
Airbnb apartment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The rooftop pool on the... You do?
I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the wrong button. I just got rid of one of my plants.
The apartment was quite nice, but it was fully furnished with
cheap stuff.
Yeah. But that was all right.
That was fine. Yeah, we didn't. That's not really what we're there for. But yeah, it had a rooftop pool that Boris never saw.
Yeah, because there's water. What's water doing in the sky?
It was great. I really liked it.
I would have actually liked to go up. I like
would.
going to cities and just looking at the city and just going.
Oops.
Like, every one of those cars has a person in it. Like that's pretty much it. I just sit up there and go, that light that's moving, that's a person. So I'm a bit sad I didn't get to do that from the roof.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot.
I can't remember what I was saying.
It was for, again, same person,
Yeah.
roommate, sister colleague, her birthday. So she had booked 4 days down
Yeah,
there.
she was there with her friend.
Yeah, and then we
a bit
turned
longer.
up a bit later for the weekend. We had to get there first, though. Turned into a big thing involving lettuce and wallets and So the place where we live is at the north of this picture. In the middle is the place where the cafe is, and then way down the bottom is where we're going. Now, I told my client, the cafe owner, that I'm going to Brisbane for a few days, just to let you know that I can't just like drop in, but I'll still be able to work here and there if you need me. I just did that as a courtesy. And then a few minutes later, he rings me up and says, oh, well, you know, if you're driving past here, would you mind going to pick up this document from the solicitors? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Then half an hour later, his wife calls up and goes, well, I just heard that you're driving past. Would you like to pick up a lettuce order, please? And so this week, which was really busy with work, and like I had just finished in time to maybe like get everywhere that we needed to be for this fun weekend on time.
Yeah, because Boris hadn't like had time to pack or like
sleep.
Sleep, yeah, get the house ready to be empty for a couple days.
Yeah, and I like when I'm under pressure like that, I always focus on the wrong things first. It's like I really wanted the grass to be mowed. It's sort of out of control. I want it to be mowed.
Because it's been rainy and sunny.
Yeah.
But you can't mow in the rain, and you can't mow when it's too hot. So, yeah.
And I didn't want to leave it for another weekend because if it was that, like, it was going to be too long. So instead of like packing and getting everything ready as I should have, I was out there mowing when it was too hot, just getting like just wrecking myself. In a week where I'd already wrecked myself. Anyway, like, then finally, pack all the wrong things, all the wrong clothes, doesn't matter, just pack them all. And then we left, got in my car, did the errands.
Picked up the lettuce, picked up some paperwork. And we had decided to carpool with the other sisters. And they were waiting in one of their houses. Yeah, they'd been waiting for us.
Yeah, waited like 2 hours for us.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to be earlier than that. And then at the last minute, like one of the sisters goes, oh, well, actually, I've been kind of looking forward to driving. And like I cleaned my car out specially, and she's always liked to drive and kind of be in control like that. And I thought, well,
fine.
That's fine.
We can be silly in the back seat.
Yeah, I don't need to spend money on the petrol.
Yeah.
I can pretend to sleep because I can't sleep anywhere other than my bed at night. So yeah, that's fine with me. So quickly unpack everything from the car, pack everything. I forgot something. What did I forget? I go back to the car. Oh, that's right, my tea.
My cup of tea.
I had
in a travel
tea
mug.
In a travel mug. I got that out after, like, I'd left the keys inside. I'd come out and go, I forgot something. What was it? Oh, my tea. And tried to open it. No, it's locked. Go back inside. Get the key. Come back out. Get my tea. Go back inside. So it's kind of like that. Then we all get into the car and drive off. We drive for half an hour. Yep. Actually, we drive for 15 minutes. Get some fuel. I get a call from my client who's like, where are you? And I was like, we're getting fuel.
Yeah, like we're 2 minutes late.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah. Get there, and it's like just by the side of the road. We do this like shady lettuce deal. Hand it over, and get back in the car, and then have a little bit of conversation about Go cards, which are like Oyster cards or whatever your card is for the transport system in your city. You know, you swipe it and then you get to ride on stuff. And I was like, oh, did you remember to put money on your Go card, or I'd watched you?
Yeah, because I just thought of it on my own. It was like,
Right.
oh, I should check if I've got money on my Go card, seeing as our plan was to park out of the city and then get a train in with all of our like luggage and stuff, which was a terrible idea.
Also, I'd walked out, like I'd tried really hard. So I had my work bag full of stuff for work in case I needed to work, which turns out I did. And then I had my personal bag. And I was like, well, 2 bags is kind of annoying, but I guess it'll do. And then I walk out and find out that Lyric's got like 16.
Okay, so I've got one big bag, one tiny little bag just because I like things to be separated out. I can't just put all my makeup in my big bag with all my clothes. Doesn't really work. Oh, get away from me. And the person that was already at the Airbnb, she wanted us to bring one of her blankets. So that took up an entire bag because it was a big blanket. It wasn't all my bags. And then we had one bag of like all the drinks and stuff.
Which it turns out no one else brought drinks, they all brought it down there. Which
makes
was probably
sense,
a smarter idea,
but we already had the drinks, so
Yeah.
they would have been way more expensive down there.
But anyway, I'd remembered the Go card, and then thought, oh well, I should.
Well, first, going out of the shady lettuce deal, we'd taken a wrong turn and turned back to Gympie by accident.
Oh yeah. And it turns out that was all right because I remembered to check for my Go card and then found, oh, not only do I not have my Go card, I don't have my whole wallet, which means that I can't do anything with anyone else because
you need to
it needs
show your ID.
to get
everywhere.
into pretty much anywhere. Yeah, and also I don't have any money.
But you can just money on your phone.
Yeah.
But that's a hassle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I'd forgotten that. So that's 30 minutes, like that's an hour
Yeah.
all up extra to the
Oh no, I'm gonna die.
already 2 hour and 40-minute trip. So then it became 3 hours and 40 minutes. And on the way there, we're like, well, by the time we get there, like,
It's gonna be too late to like get ready and have dinner and
yeah. So, well, now we're going to have to organize how to get the
Parking in the
car
city.
into the city because the train's going to be too slow. So after all of that and like comical phone calls because the person couldn't understand anything that was being said, and it finally got parking for like $90, and it was only $90 because sorry, sneezing was had. It was only $90 because she haggled with the person and was like, well, actually, you said 2 days ago that it was going to be 90, not 140. So it was $90 to put the car somewhere. Finally get there, and then I was ready for bed.
yeah.
But you all did something fun.
Yeah.
I just tagged along.
Yeah, we ended up getting dinner around 9 o'clock at night because that's what time it was when everyone was ready. And then me and a couple others, most of the people went to bed, but the birthday girl on that night, she wanted to go out, so we stayed out till 3 a.m., which is like unheard of at this point, like from me and Boris at least.
Well,
Boris wasn't there. Boris didn't stay until 3 a.m.
I got until whenever you came home the first time,
Yeah.
because you came back and then you went out.
Yeah, we had
again.
to come back, change our shoes, and we ended up staying for a lot longer than we'd planned. But we did eventually get back out. And because it's a lot cheaper to drink in the hotel than it is to drink at the bar. I was not really prepared for Brisbane, like city priced drinks.
Yeah, I
forgot about that.
it was. I had an all right meal at whatever place that was.
Yeah.
But I could have done without the rest of it because then you went to a nightclub.
A club, yeah.
Yeah, and I just wasn't. I felt old and like Just wanted them to turn down the music.
It was very loud. I lost my... No, actually, I didn't lose my voice this time. I had lost my voice... my birthday. Oh, it's the worst. No. Oh, my health is so low.
I think I've said this before, but I would be fine if I never went to a nightclub again. But I don't know, I tried to do that and then got back and then didn't sleep very well. The next day I mostly spent kind of working. I did some 2001 stuff. But, like,
Yeah, the next day was like really relaxed. I went for a long walk in the city. We went to the pool.
but like I pretty much
Just
didn't
sat
leave
around.
the bed.
Yeah,
Like I just wanted to be home.
yeah.
So I could do all the stuff that I was doing, but easier. But then I thought like, oh, this is just going to be a complete waste of a weekend. Like, just awful for me. Then the second night was,
Yeah.
I liked that. That was more my speed.
Oh, well, we went to the cat cafe
Oh
during
yeah,
the
in
day.
between that, yeah. There's like a cat rescue place, but their rescued cats go like and go downstairs, and so you order your food upstairs, and you go downstairs, and they bring it down, and then you eat your food surrounded by cats.
Yeah. And like it's all really clean and really like well put together, and it's just a really cute place.
The thing that they haven't quite thought out is that like, I think a dog cafe might work a little bit better because like cats sleep most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
All the cats were asleep,
Yeah.
and they don't like you hassling them too much when they're asleep. You just give them nice pats, and that's all.
yeah.
Um,
There was one that was like up and playing.
Yeah. And closer to the end of our session, they had started to wake up and were a bit more playful.
So the people after us would have had
A fun time, yeah.
and I
But
didn't.
I didn't mind them being all sleepy.
Yeah, I didn't want to play with cats.
No, I wanted one to just sit on my lap. And because I just wanted to sit down the whole time. I was pretty hungover.
I don't think I even like touched a cat until the last couple of minutes.
Oh no.
Because they said, "Oh well, the session's almost over," and I said, "Oh well,
I've not,
I know.
I've not hung out with any cats yet.
yeah, I'm in a cat cafe. I guess I should touch a cat."
They were all really soft. Only cauliflowers.
Because I was working on, there was one really timid one that didn't want anything to do with anyone. Black and white. And
So obviously Boris chose that one.
yeah, I was working on it. Like that's usually what I do with animals, is like I go, which is the one that is the quietest and
So
the,
am I meant... Is this ripe, do we think? I'm meant to harvest it with a scythe, but I don't know when it's ripe. No, it's not ripe. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get it to like me by the end of the session. And then there were, because it was just us to start with, but then
Yeah,
these
and
two
some-
older ladies came in and were like, "We know everything about cats, and cats are what we do," and I don't know. I didn't like them. They were
Yeah, and they were so they wanted to chat with us, and we're like, we thought we were going to be here on our own.
yeah,
Go
like,
away.
This is what we paid for these cats.
Yeah, we paid for these cats.
And one of them just walked straight up to this scared cat who didn't want to be touched and was like, "Well, come here," and like
Yeah.
it just immediately was like, "No," and like did the, you know how cats like
Yeah.
squish their, Peach does it a lot, squishes her, like they do like a double chin.
Yeah.
They squish their head back into themselves and become a turtle, and just like backed up like that and then ran away. And then they kept talking about how good they were at fostering kittens. I was like, you can't read basic.
Yeah, you didn't listen to that cat.
Yeah, like there was a big sign thing with all the stuff of how to know what
behavior and-
yeah. So
And
yeah.
the woman who actually worked there, she was a bit annoying. Like every
Oh,
time
yeah.
we'd like go up to a cat and be like, "Oh, you're so cute," Like she'd be like, "Oh, I think that one's name is," and would go over to its like because they had a little thing printed out for each cat saying like what its name was, which cats are its siblings, and a little bit of information about its backstory because they're all rescues and they're able to be adopted. But none of us were there to adopt a cat. And we didn't care what their backstories were. We just wanted to hang out with them, give them pats. Well, I didn't care who's, like, which ones were siblings and stuff.
I was expecting, like, someone to be in there to watch over us, make sure we didn't do anything wrong, but
I didn't want them to
be like this bad tour guide.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they had.
Do you think chickens eat hay? I'm gonna get a chicken in my coop.
They had like a charity shop up the top, which was like
cat themed.
Yeah.
Most of it, not all of it.
Because it looked a little bit.
Yeah, it looked super dodgy.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't what I expected.
No.
I thought it. I was picturing like an actual cafe, like a normal cafe, with like a whole bunch of cat things around, so that like stuff. They had one thing like in the actual cafe where they could climb up and then be alone up to a like this box thing. What do you call it? Only one went in there.
A tunnel.
Yeah, it was like a tunnel that was suspended from the ceiling or attached to the ceiling. They could climb up to it and then run through it. And I thought there was going to be like stuff like that in a normal cafe, and like beds all around and stuff like that for all of the cats. And the cats would just sort of mingle. And now that I think about it,
like of course they can't do that.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, that goes against like food laws and stuff. I assume.
But the only thing I wanted from that, or apart from that woman to be quiet, I wanted a taller table, because the table was like a coffee table. I wanted it to be taller so that I could actually eat. And then they gave me the most brittle wooden spork eat my Belgian waffles with, and it broke, and I had to. It was just awkward. And also, none of the cats tried to steal my food, and I wanted them to try.
Why?
Because the rule was that they weren't allowed to eat human food, but I wanted them to try to.
Why?
It's just excitement. Like a crime was happening. I wanted them to be criminals.
That's weird.
I wanted criminal cats.
I completed a bundle.
And good night, or good afternoon, Bernie.
Oh yeah.
It's a good time to try and sleep. Probably should also say that Bernie likes being the driver from ages ago.
Yeah.
And he's glad that he's an introvert based on what he's heard so far. The next night we went to a place called it's Netherworld.
Netherworld.
Yeah. Which was different to what I thought.
Yeah.
I
really liked it.
Yeah,
I want to go back and eat more food because I forgot to actually order dinner.
Yeah.
It's all vegan.
It was a place that was like vegan by default, but you could order.
Yeah, like the opposite of a normal restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, you could request meat options or dairy options, which I think should be normal. That should be the normal way to do it.
Yeah,
But
well, you can't force that.
No. That's why you have the options.
No, but I mean, like, if you force a change like that, it'll cause people to.
Yeah, no, I don't want it to be
back.
forced. I just
Okay.
think that that's a
goal to
better-
get towards.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I was picturing, like in my head, it was more like what the day time of that place is like.
Mm.
'Cause I think in that day, it's more like families and stuff, and they sit
Yeah.
around on tables and play board games and play the arcade stuff and you know, drink non-alcoholic drinks and stuff like that. But then at night, it turns into kind of a different scene. So we were just sort of sat around drinking, and I spent too much money.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I start drinking, I just decide I'm going to spend, like, I'm going to pay for everyone's.
I always
Right.
try and talk him out of it, but it doesn't work.
'Cause I immediately ordered every cocktail, like one of each, so that
So
everyone
that we
could
could all
try
try
them.
them.
And then I would buy everyone's, like, I tried to buy everyone's drinks from them. And I think I succeeded for,
For a lot of it, yeah.
yeah. And yeah, I drank too much. Like I don't really drink anymore. And I was also on a medication that enhanced the effect of it. So
Yeah.
the amount that I drank was like increased by that. It's because I can drink spirits straight. I can drink them really easily. So we were drinking a cocktail that wasn't dissimilar to a Negroni.
So very strong.
Yeah, it was different, but like it was basically just a bunch of spirits mixed together. And yeah, so I was just downing them in, you know, a few gulps. And so I liked that. I mean, apart from that bit, the rest of it was good. Like it was just a nice atmosphere. We ate some starters. I bought some starters for everyone. I even bought the food.
Well, they were for us. Because we hadn't eaten.
Yeah.
We were going to get starters because everyone else ordered. Everyone just went and ordered and didn't say they were ordering and took the menus with them that we hadn't looked at yet.
Yeah. But no, my plan with that food was those starters were for everyone. And then I was going to buy the next course for everyone as well. It's just that we never got around to the next course.
Yeah.
And I must have spent, it was like nearly $300 on one night. Which is like I'm acting like I'm rich, but I'm not. Like
No,
these
that's
what's wrong?
Jody wants a cauliflower. Brought her a cauliflower, and she just took it. This is Jody, isn't it? Oh, I brought you your cauliflower. No, that's Robin. Oh, I just gave Robin a cauliflower. Just randomly. Who's Jody? Know this woman. Oh no. Sorry,
Okay.
you can keep going.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
it's all right.
I've gotten distracted.
I've gotten distracted too. So Apple said, "Do you not like money? Because I'll take some." I think it's more the lack of, like, I don't feel like there are any consequences to my actions. So I go, well, if I spend all my money, I won't have any money. And then the next question is, and is that a problem? Like, what will happen? My answer is always nothing. It'll be perfectly fine. Someone else will give you money. You'll be able to live forever. So you might as well spend all of it tonight. So I don't know. I'm going to try and stop doing that, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing. It's fine if you like just buying a round or something.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we really have that round culture.
No.
Like in the UK, I think it's more prevalent where like one person buys a round, then the next person gets up and buys a round, and so on. But like if I just buy a round for everyone, like that's just a nice thing to do. But it's a bit weird to then go, I'm gonna pay for everyone's nights.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Yeah. Also, have you paid your rent yet? I'll pay that for you too.
Boris did not pay for anyone's rent.
So I don't know. I'll work on that. But this is the first time that I'd ever been like blackout drunk.
Because I had invited my brothers, and so they came and hung out for a while. But they had to go home, and so I forgot to go back and buy a chicken.
If he hadn't have gone home when he did, then the night would have been problematic.
Yeah. So he went home.
So you had to work the next day.
Yeah. And we went back to the hotel to have a couple more drinks, get the key, because everyone else had gone home as well, except for Boris, me, and one of his sisters.
Yeah. The sister that drove.
Yeah, yeah. So we decided to get the key, say goodbye to my brother, and then we were going to head back out because we wanted to party. But we got back to the apartment, and Boris had gone into the bedroom. I assumed he was just checking his phone and I don't know, had stuff to do before we went back out. And so me and the other sister had another drink and was sitting up and talking to the others for a bit. And a while had gone past, and I was like, oh, I should check on Boris. I don't know what he's doing. I go in and he is passed out, completely passed out. Like he would have been passed out from the second he walked in that room. Like he just flopped onto the bed and was just face up. Weirdly, face up, shoes on, wallet and phone still in pockets, just fully asleep. I was like, all right, I guess we don't go back out.
And hello, Waterfella.
Hi.
We are, well, Lyric is the one who
That's me.
is playing the game, and I'm Boris. Apple, who is Luke the Tit in chat. He's also part of the gaming group that we all take turns streaming on this channel. Oh, we've got to snipe our faces. And this stream, our Monday stream, we just sort of...
It's like a podcast
Yeah,
with a game on.
so you're just playing a nice, simple game.
Yeah.
Not really about the game, this.
No,
we're just
it's
talking
about
about
chatting.
the big weekend that we just had.
Yeah.
We pretended to be normal
Normal
young
humans.
kids
Yeah.
doing party stuff because it was a birthday of my sister's. Which, I mean, you used to do more of that.
Yeah.
When you
I
were
used to
a
hang
bit
out with your
younger.
sisters all the time.
Yeah.
Well, sister, one. I didn't know the others.
And like doing all drinking and partying,
Yeah.
and I didn't do that.
I'm glad
as
I
much.
don't anymore.
But yeah,
Apple has never been to a club in his life.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
I think I had, but I'd never been towards the dance floor area. I'd
Oh
always
yeah,
been
you
near
did
the-
not look like you liked it
Yeah.
on Friday
No,
night.
no, I didn't. I was ready to get in a car immediately and drive 2 hours all the way home.
Yeah.
But I'm talking in the past,
Yeah.
before I met you. I think I'd gone in one and I was like near the door and there were some seats. Otherwise, I'd never been in a club.
Yeah.
The night that I had met you was the first time that I had sort of been out for a long time. Oh, she's reading. She can't
Sorry.
do things. I'll wait until you're done. So talk amongst yourselves,
No,
everyone.
it's all good. It's just about
Okay.
the dance. Multitasking is hard. Can't read and listen at the same time.
Yeah, the night that we had met, we went to a club at one point. I didn't want to, but I was like interested in this new person I had found, so I followed along. And then I had to pretend like I didn't want you to not... I didn't want you to know that I wasn't a club person. And so I was...
Because at the time, I very much was. Like, practically every weekend, I was going out.
And yeah, so I was like, yeah, I know how to dance. Look at this. Do I wiggle this thing? And often in my head, I think, yeah, I'm moving everything a lot. But then, like, if I see a video of it or something like that, like I'm pretty much just standing still and like slightly jiggling.
Please.
Yeah, so good. That was the first night. The second night was a bit tamer, apart from me accidentally drinking too much and then passing out in my bed. Because I vaguely remember crossing the road, because it was like the place that we went was right across the road from the apartment, which is good.
Andy.
Yeah. So I vaguely remember crossing the road and then waiting for your brother's Uber to turn up. And then that's where my memory ends. So I don't remember getting up there. Next thing I remember is waking up, which is the first time that, like, I'm not a big drinker, but there have been times where I've like
Drunk a lot.
Yeah, binged before. I think my body just takes it well. And I've never...
Mine does not.
And yeah, so I'd never gotten to that point. And it was a little bit like scary and off-putting at the start. I was like, what happened? Like, where are we? I'll see you next time then.
Right, see ya.
Good for you to stop by.
We stream throughout the week.
Yeah, Thursday's the next one.
Oh, no, well...
Oh, no, Tuesday.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I might do some streams randomly throughout the day.
Oh, quarantine streams.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I've passed out and weirdly barely had any hangover. But I think that's because, like, every time I got a drink, like, I would always have 2 glasses. I had a drink in one glass and water in the other glass. And I would go up to the bar, order my cocktail, because all I drank all night were cocktails, which made it an incredibly expensive night. But it was good because it would take a bit for the cocktails to be made, which meant that I could walk around, because it was a weirdly circular kind of shaped bar. I could walk around to the side, fill up my water glass, and then come back, and then the cocktail would be just about ready. So then I could take that back.
Again. Is the store open?
So I
Oh no, it's the Flower Festival today.
I think I managed to drink like more water than I did drinks. Because there were times where I took a break for one drink and then just had water. So I think that really helped. And then the next day I just drank water all day. I don't think I had much of a hangover.
That's good.
But then, yeah, that day we kind of just got ready and had a really nice breakfast.
Yeah.
I like that place. Seemed a little bit pretentious at times.
Yeah.
But it was nice, like a little Italian place, and we had Italian. Well, I had a Italian themed breakfast.
Yeah, I just had eggs. Eggs and coffee.
By Italian themed, I mean absolutely full of oil, with the occasional tomato. And then we drove home. The drive home was not that eventful, apart from the fact that you were tortured.
Oh, so the person who was in charge of the music, we have very different taste in music, and I just couldn't stand it. Like, I couldn't get to sleep either.
And it was loud.
awful. And it was loud. It was like that torture that I don't know, it's in movies and stuff where they keep people awake by like blaring music at them. And I was feeling so sick already. I just wanted it to be over.
But eventually got back,
Yeah.
only to find that my car had been run into.
Oh yeah.
Because I'd left it parked outside my sister's house from when we swapped all the stuff
Yeah.
over, and it was like just by the side of the road on a
And
quiet
it's a
street.
quiet road, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and someone had like rear-ended it, but not as badly. Like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably get a picture.
Yeah.
It's like enough to just be
Just
annoying.
be annoying, yeah, because it doesn't, like, it's just like mostly paint, a bit of one of the rear. Oh, that's a pretty good picture. Okay, I will not describe it because I'm bad at that. Boris is gonna get a picture up.
Oh, it's got me in it.
It's got a reflection of Boris.
Yeah, I've just got to be careful not to put my number plate on it.
Yeah.
So I've got to just find the right ones. And yeah, there wasn't a note.
Yeah,
all.
so it was like
just
a hit and run sort of thing,
Yeah.
which is frustrating because Boris has quite a nice car. Expensive car.
It's going to have not going to be completely professional, but so it's just
That doesn't make it look as bad as it is, I think.
Yeah, well, so up the top there's
a bit harder to see it.
the thing was the tail light, like the cover of the tail light was broken off, but the tail light was still working. And it's kind of cracked there. There's me. Yeah, and down there you can see I'm not sure about the next picture. No, it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So
a big
it's just
crack in the panel.
Yeah. That means the oh yeah, I've got Converse on. Move back before I go to the next one because I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's just an up close.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a
Yeah, it doesn't like affect the driving or anything like that.
yeah.
It's still
But it-
roadworthy.
After a
Yeah, after a big weekend that had a lot of problems to begin with.
yeah,
It's
and
just a nice little cap on it.
I thought it was going to be like this big deal to have to fix it, but I didn't even know if it was worth involving insurance. But then I figured, like, I pay every month for it.
Yeah.
So,
May as well use it.
yeah. Well, I was worried about just having a claim. But yeah, I claimed it today. It's a simple process actually.
Oh, that's good.
I thought I was going to have to like call up and do all this stuff, but you just click a few buttons and send a few photos and that's all. And then choose a place to get it fixed at. I got the place that the dealer in town suggested because I didn't know what was right. I had to book a service for it anyway. But I first asked them, like, they would fix it.
Yeah.
The service place. But they
I
said
assume
no.
they said no.
Yeah, they said no, but this is the place that we use.
Yeah.
So I just went, okay, well, I'll use that place. And that was all approved by the insurer, so there was like no hassle there.
Oh, that's good.
And now, well, the next step said that they would contact me, and they haven't contacted me yet. But I'll give it another day and see what happens. Otherwise, I'll call them. And hopefully I can have it fixed before too long. It's kind of in a spot where it makes it look like it might be my fault. I don't want people to think that I did it to my own car.
Yeah, because when our housemate got home, like, we were already home and Boris's car was in the garage and she saw it and was like, what did you do to your car? And we're like, no, someone hit it.
And because we're in a small town, my
brother-in-law to be.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, I'm putting it on Facebook. And he's like, put this thing on there. And I was like, does anyone know about this? And the I don't know. I don't even know what group it's in. I assume
It's just
like,
in the general town group.
yeah, where everyone goes to complain about things.
Yeah.
Because he actually like noticed it when we almost got home
Yeah.
and called. And I thought
Just
it
panicked us all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, brother-in-law to be as in the fiance of my sister. So the sister's house who it was. So it's not a brother-in-law yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what he described was like someone rear-ended your car and like he was so mad about it, and I thought, oh,
Yeah, like we just want to go home.
yeah, am I gonna even be able to drive it?
Yeah.
And then got there and it was just like this scrape. It was like, oh yeah, no, okay. But I now still have to go get it fixed.
Yeah, it's still a hassle.
Apple's got a theory. What if he did it?
Well, it'll be hard because the paint that's been left on the car is red. And it just happens that his neighbor has a red car. So, like, we were having, like, a sneaky look at the neighbor's car. But like, apparently they're really nice and would come over and say something if they did it. And their car didn't have any damage on it.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I did leave the keys because there had been storms around before. I didn't think there was going to be any, but it's like, if there are any storms, do you want me to move it under cover? And I said, yeah, if you felt like that would be good. Just in case it was hail.
Mm. And he went out to move the car because he was mowing. And that's when he saw the damage on it.
Yeah. But if he was moving it in earlier and then accidentally did it himself.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Cover up.
Yeah.
And yeah, Apple put a brick in their window just in case. One in the window of everyone on that street. And then we got home and sort of did nothing. Didn't want to do anything. Usually in those cases, I just want to put David Attenborough on. And just learn some things about some animals. I'm on a big documentary
Big
phase
animal,
at the moment. Yeah. Well, I want to watch all different sorts of documentaries, but the only ones that you'll accept are...
No, I like other documentaries.
I don't think you do.
I do.
The only ones that you ever actually watch are animal ones.
No.
The rest you just sort of tune out fairly quickly.
No, I like other ones. Oh, I can finally buy a bloody chicken. No, I can't. It's the festival. Oh, all I want is to buy this stupid chicken. Pretty sure it's today. I went into town yesterday and
I would like another go at this last weekend.
Yeah, because there are so many things we could have done better.
Yeah, when it was quiet and it wasn't working too much, actually planned the whole thing. You could just go and yeah. Like actually, I don't know if
Where is this festival?
There was about 3 or so hours in the entire weekend that I enjoyed.
Aww.
And I think those 3 hours kind of made up for it. But yeah, I really could have done a lot better.
Yeah, well, I had planned to take some time off for my birthday, which I didn't end up doing. But now I've got it. I've got time off.
It'll only be a couple of days.
Well, it's Easter at the end of this week, so it's the whole week now.
Okay.
Seagulls.
Oh, that means I've got to try and work with you home.
It's alright, I'll just sit
That's
here and
hard.
play Stardew.
You'll question my techniques.
No, I'll...
You will.
Okay, last time I said this, I ended up using like your entire day. But you can just pretend I'm not here.
Alright. I don't mind that. It's that you'll question my need to take a break from work every 10 minutes to get up and get chocolate.
What chocolate?
All the chocolate that's on the counter that I'm maybe about 70% sure I'm allowed to eat.
Oh, have you been eating that?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's for us or not.
Oh.
I can't remember what she said. Our housemate bought some chocolate. Some Easter chocolate. And has left it on the kitchen counter, but I can't remember if she said it was for us as well.
Yeah,
or,
she
or
said we
just
could
her.
have some if
okay.
it was reasonable.
Okay.
Because she knows me.
Yeah.
I think I've been fairly reasonable. Today. Like I've had a reasonable amount for the week so far today.
Oh no.
So if I stop now, it's fine, but any more and it's not. Apple's asked if we could get Jesus to cameo weekend. You think we could find someone called Jesus and prove him right? Or
I don't know.
I just had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. It's alright. Never mind. I thought one of my clients was like, they've got a grand opening of the bar
Oh
that
no.
they've just installed, and I thought, oh, did he put it on this weekend or next weekend? And it's next weekend.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's just like opening his bar on the one day of the year that
So
you're not allowed to sell alcohol.
Yeah. Which I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why is the government getting involved in a religious holiday?
We're not America. We don't have a full separation of church and state.
Don't we?
More than the UK, but not completely. But yes, we do. But otherwise, like, we still have Christmas and Easter and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, like, I'm fine for there to be holidays because most people celebrate them without there being any religious attachment. But they don't let us sell or
Yeah.
buy alcohol, which is wild.
I think I've said this before, that that's the sort of thing where, like, I rationally agree with you.
Who did I give a... No. sorry.
Yeah, I rationally agree with you, but I like little oddities and quirks. I like that there's this little quirky day where you're not
Yeah.
allowed to sell alcohol for some ancient reason that no one can remember.
I don't get to be in the dance.
Talking about Good Friday,
Yeah.
we should point out for people that
Yeah. Don't know the Easter holidays.
or who are watching this whenever the video goes up or in 16 years.
The issue I have with these games is that there's the perfect amount of pairs in this town. If I go and marry one of them, then one of the other people don't get their partner.
Does that
I
cause
think it's
drama?
mean. I don't know.
Well, you should do it and then go find the single one and then gloat.
Aww.
Maybe they want to be single.
Didn't get to buy a chicken. Alright, I think... Oh my god, it's so late. Should we... stop?
I was waiting for you.
Okay. Alright. Gonna buy a chicken at some point. I've had the stuff built for ages. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'll do this again next Monday. If not, at some point in between.
And I'm going to say this now so that I can't get out of it.
Yeah.
But tomorrow is supposed to be Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
I was going to do them on Sundays, but we've...
Yeah.
Actually, was it going to be tomorrow or Wednesday? I don't think
I
we
don't think you
worked that out.
decided.
Okay. Well, I guess it's happening tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I started that not last week, the week before. No, it was last week.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue playing that.
Mm-hmm. You're at a
Um,
boss fight.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
exciting. Just letting people know.
Yeah. We didn't do it on Sunday because
We're
we
tired.
just got
Yeah.
home from the big story that we just said, but I also decided I wanted to keep Sunday for other things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll keep playing that.
Mhm.
Either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow.
Okay.
So we'll see you then.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Apple likes the game. Hope you can tune in.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.